Hello and welcome to the stream. I'm your host D-Day, bringing you more FTB Continuum. And today what we're going to work on is raw DNA so that we can get our bee breeding to the next stage using gendistry specifically to make bee breeding a lot easier. First thing that I wanted to make was transfer nodes. We did make these in a previous episode because they were part of a quest. Let me grab some iron. What we're going to need to make is an anvil. So, how many do we need for an anvil? Probably just 3. 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4 plates. I think I have the plates already. And yep, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. And let's throw these blocks of iron in here and this guy in here. We can make more of... Oh no, it's not blocks of iron. It's refined iron that gets turned into that. So let's put the blocks of iron in here and turn them into refined iron. I'm not sure if the Philosopher's Stone is in this pack. I haven't heard of it, to tell you the truth. Also, did I just dump my 3? Yeah, there we go. And I think this will, yeah, let me just shift click it over again like that. Cool. Let's make this anvil. And then let's squash this transfer node and make 8 flat ones. And I'll put the anvil back in here. Even though kind of consider it a tool now. But we have our 8 flat transfer nodes for fluids specifically. I don't want to use the transfer node items because it's kind of buggy, and I'd rather use XNET. So we need to make a fermenter, which will require bronze gears and a sturdy casing. Bronze gears, sturdy casings. I got bronze gears here. Sturdy casings here. I need glass. 4 glass. Does it have to be... Accept any block glass. Okay. Do I have glass? Yes. 1, 2, I'll put the stack in here. So we need 1 fermenter. Perfect. We need a still, which needs redstone. We're missing redstone. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need a still. Perfect. We need a gene pool, which requires bronze. Let's see. We need glass panes. We need the enhanced circuit boards. Enhanced circuit boards. Do I have glass panes? Let's make some. Let's not go crazy with it. We'll make 16. And we need the reinforced casing, which is iron around a sturdy casing. Okay. Bam, and gene pool. Bam. We need 3 incubators. Incubators, so we need 3 reinforced casings. We need iron gears, and we need furnace. So 3 furnace. Boop, 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 boop. Boop. Let's grab these iron gears. Three of these. Okay, perfect. 3 of these. Perfect. All right. Incubators. gene pool, still, fermenter. Raw DNA is what we're making. So the raw DNA needs to come from a gene pool. The gene pool requires ethanol. The ethanol comes from the still with biomass. The biomass comes from a fermenter with either honey or fruit juice. And I'm going to go the fruit juice route because I need all of the honey. I need to keep all of the honey for crafting. It's going to be a difficult resource to keep up with. So I'd rather do fruit juice. So we need fruit juice, which will come from a squeezer, which I remember the bee house has an extra squeezer, so we don't need to do that. Backspace. We also need something that we can break down into raw DNA, which the reason why I switched to the cherry blossoms in the tree farm, in the Steve's Carts tree farm, is because the cherries can be squeezed into fruit juice and the saplings can be run through the gene pool for raw DNA. So we also need to do enzymes. Enzymes require an incubator with sugar and bacteria. So we need sugar. The bacteria comes from an incubator that requires wheat and growth medium. So we need sugar and wheat. The growth medium comes from another incubator, which requires growth medium in its solid form and water. So we need a sink, which I should have here for water. And we need, of course, a controller, connectors, network cables. We need a chest to store the items in. That's the buffer. And we need the tank, of course, for the raw DNA to go into. And we need wheat. I'll grab some of the wheat that I have here. I have more. I put all of the wheat in the bee building. We need sugar and we need growth medium. And let's see. I need bones, which these I've gotten from just killing skeletons with my looting 3 or my luck 2. I killed a bunch of skeletons off camera and got the bones, which I'll run through the crusher and turn it into bone meal. It gives you more bone meal this way if you run it through the crusher rather than in your personal inventory. So we need bone meal, we need sugar, we need wheat. So let's see. Sugarcane, which we've been growing outside. I'm going to turn this all into sugar. I don't think we're going to need this stuff anymore. Actually, I'm going to move the glass into the secondary here because it's not that important. Got wax capsules here from previously, so we need sugar, wheat, and bone meal. So bone meal and sugar becomes growth medium. So I'm not sure exactly how much we're going to need. But no such thing as too much bone meal. Okay. That's good. That's good for now. So let's go ahead and head over to the bee building. Yep, I got the squeezer here. That's what I was remembering. Gene spicing is going to be a little bit more complicated than the honey, because it requires you to go through the machines. So let's see, how am I going to set this up? Because I want it to look pretty too. We need to put we have power. I've already run the power. There we go. I'm going to run the power into the back of the controller. Right there. So the controller's getting power from leadstone flux duct that I ran through the same way, the same cable that I had underground. We also need to place the fermenter. How should I make this look pretty? And put the fermenter here. Put the still on top of it. There we go. And let's make sure that we do this in the correct order. The sink I will put here. The storage crate I'm going to put on top of the sink. Like that. Then we can run the 3 incubators. 1. And I'm going to go this direction. So actually, let me grab the flat transfer nodes. And it's going to come out, so we're going to right click. The fluid's going to come out of this one and go into the one next to it. Like that. See, it bugs out. That's why I don't like using it. 1 incubator. Going to come out into this incubator. And then the fluid's going to come out of this incubator, go into this incubator. And then the fluid's going to come out of this, or the item actually is going to come out of this. So that's the only fluid transfer we need to do. The gene pool is going to bug out on me. There it is. The gene pool is going to come down here. So we need a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 advanced blue connectors. 10 of them. So we need 6 more connectors. Now that we have the extra connectors, let me go around. And this is going to be the fun part. Need to plug this guy in here. There. Each one of these needs an advanced connector. Or, I'm sorry, a connector. Advanced connectors transfer more power between the two. There we go. Did I miscount? No, I need one on the controller up top. There we go. That's why I wanted a space. Boom. Right there. And the network cable to make sure that they're plugged in. Whoop. Oops. Shift. There we go. One up. And let's go forward like that. There we go. Now everything is plugged in with advanced cables. So we need to make sure that we run everything through this guy. Growth medium. I think I have wheat in here. Yes, wheat. So let's program this guy correctly. So, channel 1, energy, create. Energy comes from the leadstone flux duct. Create extract. Insert into the controller. Create insert. Priority 1. The gene pool and the incubators, do they require power? They do require power. So, create, insert is default, create, the still and the squeezer and the fermenter need power, and the sink and the storage crate do not. So that should be all of our power. Yeah. 7.5, 12, 12, 20, 20, 20, 16. They all have power. That's the most important part. Now we need to program how the items are going to move. So let's program raw DNA. The first thing that we need is the gene pool requires ethanol from the still. The still requires biomass from the fermenter. The fermenter requires fruit juice from the squeezer, and the squeezer requires fruit to be squeezed. So let's go grab our supply of cherries and saplings from the tree farm. We will extract, so the channel 2, there we go, a little bit of lag. Click on channel 2, we'll change this to item, create, it'll turn green. We're going to extract out of the large storage crate, create, extract the cherries. We're going to insert into the squeezer. Create, insert cherries into the squeezer. Let me toss these cherries in here. And the squeezer should be doing its thing. Perfect. Creating seed oil. Never mind. That was not what I needed. I could have sworn that cherries were going to make the... that cherries would make fruit, not seed. Luckily, I can break this, and it will lose its inventory. So cherries do not make fruit juice. They make seed oil. Got it. I have a secondary thing I can use. Everything that is a fruit in Pam's can be turned into fruit juice. So let's grab the blueberries then. Do I have lag? Or maybe the Matic just doesn't work. Okay. Oops. There we go. I'll grab some blueberries. We'll do it with blueberries instead of the cherries. All right, so channel 2. We're gonna extract the blueberries and insert it into the squeezer. Create, insert blueberries. Also, don't throw them. There we go. Squeezing into fruit juice, perfect. So next we're going to extract from the squeezer the fruit juice into the fermenter. Insert, there we go. The fermenter gets the fruit juice. The fermenter also, when we go through the rabbit hole, requires cotton or fertilizer or barley, spice leaf, and if you click through all 624 of these, wheat does work. So what we're going to do is we're going to the item, we can extract wheat and insert it into the fermenter. Create, insert wheat. And you can use these columns as long as there's no conflict. You cannot insert and extract from the same spot. That's the only reason why you would have to use a new column. So now the fermenter, to make sure that this works, we'll put the wheat up. The fermenter is getting the wheat and the fruit juice. We have a bunch of apatite ore here. There we go. Let's make 3. We have sand here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then this is as easy as fertilizer, which that looks like we already have enough fertilizer for now. We had so much that we couldn't even hold it in our inventory. I'll put the rest of the apatite back. Boom, boom, and boom. Now we have a whole bunch of fertilizer. That's more than I was expecting. We also need to extract the fertilizer and insert it into the fermenter as well. Fertilizer. So now the fertilizer is being sent, the wheat is being sent, the fruit juice is being sent. It's creating biomass. The fluid channels, from what I understand from having issues with it, the fluid channels have to be on separate channels. You can't... I've tried it before by changing the color, but it's a lot more simple. We don't need all 8 channels for this. So I'm going to make it its own separate channel. Change this to fluid, create. So what we're going to do next is we're going to extract the fluid out of the fermenter and insert it into the still. Insert into the still. So now the still is getting the biomass, and the still only requires power. The biomass will be turned into ethanol as soon as it has enough biomass. Fruit juice, squeezer. So let's grab some more fruit. And later what we could do if we really wanted to is we could set up a garden cloche to grow a specific Pam's Harvest Craft. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this a little nudge by doing the blackberries, the grapes, and the beans. And that'll keep the fruit juice coming for right now, since this is more of an explanation on how I can get this to work. I can do most of this stuff off camera. That's working. Fruit juice, biomass, biomass, ethanol, and then the gene pool, ethanol tank. The next thing, fermenter, still, insert, fluid, extract, fermenter. It is making biomass. Biomass is going to the still. 650. There we go. It just took a while. The ethanol in the still. So we're going to make another fluid. The still is going to extract next and put it into the gene pool. Which this block, that's why I name my connectors, because it says tile num name, but I can tell by the image that this is the gene pool. So I'm going to insert here. Now the gene pool is getting ethanol. Perfect. So that's one rabbit hole done. Raw DNA. We have the ethanol. Now we need to start working on the enzymes. Enzymes come from incubation, 3 of them. So the first one we need to do is water and growth medium. So let me see. These are going to be the important ones. We'll do Inc 1, name that, and then we'll do Inc 2 feeds into Inc 3. All right, so Inc 1, incubator 1, there we go. Now it's connector Inc 3, Inc 2, Inc 1. We can do a fluid channel. I'm gonna stick to what I said. Fluid, create. We're gonna extract out of the sink. and we're going to insert into ink 1. Ink 1, insert water. Ink 1 has water. Ink 1 is also going to require the growth medium. So we're also going to go into edit channel 2. Let's see. Extract. Perfect. Yeah, we can use this one. We're going to extract the growth medium, and we're going to insert it into ink 1. Insert growth medium. The wheat came in here because I put extract before I selected only growth medium. We'll put the wheat back. Growth medium is manually being put into the crate, so it's being put in here, and then since we have the fluid, the fluid's immediately going as liquid growth medium into incubator number 2. So let's check out incubator number 2. Requires the liquid growth medium, which it's getting, and wheat. So wheat needs to also be sent to incubator number 2. All right, so extract. No, hold on. Insert incubator 2 is going to get insert wheat. And then I'm going to do extract wheat, which it's already set, but as long as you do insert first, it won't put random items in when you do extract all. So now this guy should be getting wheat. It's mixing with the growth medium to make bacteria, which with the fluid goes immediately over to here, filling this with bacteria. Perfect. Then we need to do one more thing, the bacteria with sugar. So sugar is going to go to ink 3. So we're going to insert into ink 3 the item sugar, and then we're going to extract the sugar and fill this guy with sugar. All right, so now the bacteria is mixing with the sugar to make enzymes. I'll take one of these out. So this is a new item for us now. The enzyme, we're going to extract out of the ink 3, incubator 3, which I can't use this one over again. So I have to make a new item channel. We're going to extract out of ink 3 the enzyme. We're going to insert it into the gene pool. Insert. There it is. It's filling up down here. Perfect. And then the final step, what we're going to do is we're going to extract from the chest the cherry saplings, and we're going to insert it into the gene pool. So we're going to insert this cherry saplings, and we're going to extract the cherry saplings. Now when I put these in here, there we go. We have the ethanol coming, we have the enzymes coming, we have the hill cherry saplings coming, and progressing into millibuckets of raw DNA per sapling. It said 0% full, so I got confused on that one. But yeah, 10 millibuckets per sapling. The tree farm is going to give us a ridiculous amount of saplings. What we can do also is all of these extras that we have here, like the ignobles, for example. The ignobles, they press. So 10 millibuckets per sapling. The ignoble princesses, give it a second. Boom, 30. So 30 millibuckets for ignoble princesses, 10 for saplings. But as soon as I toss all of the trash bees in here, the only steady supply of DNA I'm going to get is from the tree farm. That's why I did forestry trees. The hill cherry saplings will press into DNA after I'm run out of bees that I can press. So that is the setup, XNET, and the gene pool for raw DNA. I love this little particle effect up here. It looks cool. And then one extra step that we can do is we can do this. Put a faucet on the front, put the advanced tank under it, and we can right click into the raw DNA into the advanced tank. And then of course, just like with the honey, we can do fluid lasers to make it faster so that we don't have to do it manually. 2 fluid lasers. I'm glad I had these on me. We can do this, break this guy. And I'm going to set him a little bit further away so that there's a block in between the 2 lasers. We can do a laser here. We can do a laser here. And that's why I wanted... Oh, well, yeah. This should still work. I wanted an extra block in between, but this should still work. Just as long as they don't occupy the same block space, we should be fine. Compass. Right-click only into, right-click only out of. And now let's see, 150 millibuckets. Get rid of the faucet up front. $160 millibuckets, there we go. So now all of the wheat that I farm, right here, all of the grapes and fruits, of course. Strawberries count too, I think. Oh, those are chili peppers. Strawberries are right here. Can be turned into fruit juice. I think I have wheat on the other side as well. Yep. And all of the sugar cane. Did I lose any? If I lost it, I lost it. Sugarcane. Sugar. I don't know if chili can be used. Oh yeah. And the saplings. Boing. Boing. And I'll research which PAMs RLCraft can be put in here as well. So the wheat, we already ran out of wheat. We got sugar. The saplings we can put in. All of these saplings. And I'm pretty sure the strawberries. Fruit juice. Strawberries or fruit juice. Perfect. So this thing, we need to fill it up with sugar, wheat, saplings, fertilizer, and growth medium manually until we get automation with the ME system, of course. And then also if we wanted to automate the production of one of the fruits, we can plug that in with the garden cloche. We can grow the fruit, we can grow the wheat, we can grow the sugarcane. The only thing that is keeping me from doing that right now is we don't have automated bones at the moment. So if I can't automate the entire system, if I have to manually place one item in, like I manually have to create the bones with the sugar to make the growth medium. Yeah, the sugar I can grow with the sugar cane and a cloche, but the bones I have to manually make the growth medium. So since I can't automate this one, I'm totally fine with putting the wheat in separately. The wheat can be grown with the cloche and then sent to the chest via XNET. The fruit can be grown via cloche and sent to the chest via XNET. But then still the bone meal and the sugarcane would have to be manually done. But now 280 millibuckets of raw DNA. So we're making honey reliably. Let's go check the honey before I call it a stream. We're making honey and we're making raw DNA, which are the two things required. How are we on honey? Oh goodness, this thing is full already. And this guy's full as well. Wow, tank full. So I need to make more, I need to make a better source of... See, this thing's backing up, so at least it won't stall the system. Everything will back up to a point. But we are making honey. That's awesome. This is only, even though this was yesterday's episode that we made honey, it, to me, right now, has only been 30 minutes. So in 30 minutes, we've created 64 buckets of honey plus 10, so 74 buckets of honey, and they're backed up. So honey we're making no problem now. The raw DNA, I'm pretty sure in 30 minutes we'll also have a ridiculous amount of raw DNA to work with. But what's great is now that we have honey and raw DNA, I'll be able to create the agenda stream machines, which the first machine that I want to make is the gene splicer. Gene splicer, imprint, genetic imprinter, and the genetic sampler. To make the genetic imprinter and the genetic sampler, I need these power modules, these B receptacles, and these genetics processors, which they require. Power modules require scented gears, and the scented gears... Okay, so making the power module requires honey and raw DNA, 8,000 or 8 buckets of honey, 1 bucket of raw DNA for one of these power modules. These scented gears, so 4 of them, require the royal jelly from the Imperials and the pollen clusters from the industrious bees, plus beeswax, so I'm glad I haven't been trashing it. I forgot about that. Also, half a bucket to make one of these scented gears. So we need 2 buckets of honey to make the 4 scented gears, plus 8 buckets of honey, so 10 buckets of honey and 1 bucket of raw DNA to make 1 power module. And the B receptacle is the same way. It also requires 4 of these guys. So, but this one requires half a bucket of raw DNA and 2 buckets of honey, so it's a little bit cheaper. But as you can see, that's a lot of honey and a lot of raw DNA to make one of these machines. Let's see, genetic imprinter. Yeah, the only difference between these two machines is one requires a diamond and one requires another B receptacle. So, next episode we'll make the genetic imprinter and the genetic sampler. And then we can start ripping chromosomes off of the bees that we have, and with the genetic sampler we can rip the bees into pieces to get their chromosomes, specifically fertility 4 off of Imperial, and use the genetic imprinter to place that chromosome onto all of our bees we can build the perfect genetic template, 13 chromosomes, and we can genetically modify all of our bees that we make to be perfect. And that's going to make breeding a lot easier when we have fertility 4, which means every time the queen breaks, it'll make 4 drones at a time. That is going to be wonderful. Then we can, we can rip off the chromosomes, the traits that we love from all of the best bees and make ultimate bees from that point on. So that is the entire episode of how we make raw DNA. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you can hit the like button in the bottom right and go ahead and click on my guy here to subscribe to the channel, that would help us out a lot. Also, if you want to watch me stream on Twitch, I stream Monday through Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. Central. So I'll see you then.